There's something quietly fascinating about what women want but rarely say. It's not because they are hiding, it's because what they long for can't always be expressed in words. It's a kind of knowing that lives in the unspoken, in the subtle moments between presence and absence, between comfort and mystery. Women crave emotional safety more than constant reassurance because reassurance, while comforting, is fleeting. Emotional safety, however, is the foundation that allows her to relax into the relationship without fear of being misunderstood, dismissed, or judged. It is the invisible current that allows her to express her truth freely, knowing that her vulnerability won't be used against her. When a woman feels emotionally safe, she doesn't have to monitor her tone, measure her words, or hide her feelings to avoid conflict. She feels she can show all sides of herself, her softness, her strength, her doubts, and her desires, without worrying that it will make her too much or not enough. Emotional safety doesn't come from constant verbal reassurances like "I love you" or "I'm here for you." It comes from consistent emotional presence, from the man who listens not just to reply, but to understand. A woman wants to feel that when she speaks, her emotions are met, not analyzed. When she shares something vulnerable, she wants empathy, not advice. Emotional safety is built when a man can hold space for her feelings without needing to fix them or escape from them. It's in those small moments, when she's upset and he doesn't shut down, when she's distant and he stays steady, that she learns she can trust his emotional capacity. It's the quiet reassurance that his presence will not vanish when things get uncomfortable. Many women live in a world that often tells them their emotions are too much, that their depth is overwhelming. So when she meets someone who can stay grounded in the face of her storms, she begins to soften. She doesn't need to armor up. She can exhale. This kind of safety is not about being agreeable or avoiding conflict. It's about creating an emotional space where truth can exist without fear. A woman doesn't expect a man to be perfect, she expects him to be real, consistent, and emotionally available. When she feels this kind of connection, her trust deepens, and so does her attraction. Emotional safety allows her to open her heart wider, to love more deeply, and to reveal parts of herself she hides from the rest of the world. Without it, even the strongest attraction begins to fade, because she feels unseen and emotionally alone even in his presence. Emotional safety, in essence, is the soil in which intimacy grows, the unseen promise that says, "You don't have to protect yourself from me." When a woman says she wants to be seen, she's not talking about being admired for her beauty, her body, or her charm. She wants to be seen in the way that goes beyond the surface, to be understood, to be recognized in her emotional depth and complexity. Being seen means a man notices her energy shift even when she doesn't say a word. It means he observes not just what she presents to the world, but what lives underneath her silence, her laughter, or even her withdrawal. Women long for this kind of attention because it tells them they matter not just for what they give, but for who they are. To be seen in this way is to feel cherished, acknowledged, and understood without needing to perform or prove. Too often, people mistake attention for connection. A compliment, a like, a glance, these are surface gestures. But when a man truly sees a woman, he goes beyond that. He pays attention to what brings her alive, what dulls her light, what makes her eyes soften, or what makes her voice lose its warmth. He listens not only to her words but to the pauses between them. He notices the stories she doesn't tell out loud. And when she realizes he can see her essence, not just her image, she begins to trust him in a deeper way. This trust doesn't come from flattery or persuasion, it's born from presence. A woman wants to know that she doesn't have to constantly explain herself to be understood. She wants to feel that he gets her, that he can read the emotional language she speaks through gestures, tone, and subtle shifts. When she's quiet, it might not mean she's angry, it might mean she's processing. When she pulls away, it might not be rejection, it could be her way of protecting herself. The man who can sense these nuances makes her feel emotionally secure because he proves that he's not just looking, he's perceiving. Being seen also means being remembered. When a man recalls the small details, the story she once told, the scent she loves, the song that makes her nostalgic, she feels deeply acknowledged. These moments may seem small, but they communicate care and attentiveness. To a woman, being seen is synonymous with being valued. It is what allows her to reveal more of herself, to bring forth the layers she usually hides. When she feels truly seen, she begins to open not because she's seeking validation, but because she feels safe enough to be real. Masculine presence is something every woman feels long before she understands it. It's not about dominance, control, or confidence that needs to be announced. It's about grounded energy, a calm steadiness that allows her to relax and feel safe. A man with masculine presence doesn't need to demand attention. His energy commands it naturally because he's rooted in himself. His body language, his tone, his stillness, they all communicate that he's centered, that he's here, fully. Women are deeply sensitive to the energy a man carries. When his presence is scattered, when he's anxious, overcompensating, or trying too hard, she can sense it instantly. But when his presence is quiet and assured, she feels drawn in, often without knowing why. Masculine presence is not about being stoic or emotionless, it's about being emotionally grounded. It means that when chaos arises, he doesn't get swept away by it. When she's upset, he doesn't meet her intensity with defensiveness or withdrawal. He stays steady, open, and responsive. This doesn't mean suppressing emotion, but rather being anchored enough to hold both his feelings and hers without losing balance. Women crave this kind of energy because it allows them to soften. It tells them that they don't have to take control or lead emotionally all the time. They can rest in his steadiness. When a man carries true presence, it changes the dynamic of connection. He listens without distraction. He looks into her eyes without needing to look away. He creates a kind of invisible space around her where she feels fully attended to. It's not about saying the perfect thing or making grand gestures, it's about being there unhurried, unguarded, and real. The energy of a present man feels safe because it's consistent. It's not fueled by ego or desire to impress, but by authenticity. A woman can tell when a man's presence is performative, when he's trying to appear confident instead of actually being comfortable with himself. True presence is quiet power. It comes from a man who knows who he is, who's connected to his values, who doesn't need external validation to feel whole. This presence doesn't overpower her, it invites her to meet him there, in that grounded space between strength and tenderness. In his presence, she feels she can let go of her guard, because she senses she's in the company of a man who doesn't just exist in the moment, he is the moment. Curiosity is one of the most underestimated forces in love, yet it is the heartbeat that keeps connection alive. When a woman feels that a man is genuinely curious about her, her thoughts, her feelings, her inner world, she feels valued in a way that goes far beyond compliments or affection. Curiosity means you don't assume you already know her. It means you continue to discover her, again and again, even after years together. Women crave that energy of exploration because it mirrors how they love, not with finality, but with evolution. They want to feel that their depth is not something a man grows tired of, but something that continues to inspire his interest. Many relationships lose their spark not because love disappears, but because curiosity does. The moment one partner stops asking, stops wondering, stops being intrigued, the relationship begins to flatten. A woman doesn't want to feel studied or interrogated, she wants to feel seen through the eyes of wonder. She wants a man who notices the subtle shifts, the way her laugh has changed, the dreams she now talks about, the boundaries she's learned to set. When he keeps asking, "Who are you becoming?" it shows her that he doesn't just love the version of her he first met, he loves the unfolding version she continues to grow into. Curiosity is also what makes intimacy dynamic. It allows conversations to go deeper, silence to feel meaningful, and differences to become opportunities for understanding rather than distance. When a man asks with genuine interest, "What does that feel like for you?" or "What made you think that way?" he's saying, "I want to know your world." That kind of attention invites openness because it tells her she is not being judged but explored. Women thrive when they feel emotionally discovered, not analyzed. The difference is subtle but powerful. Analysis distances, curiosity connects. A curious man doesn't assume he has her figured out, and that humility keeps the connection alive. It creates an atmosphere where both people can keep evolving without fear of outgrowing each other. This kind of curiosity is not just about her mind, but her spirit, her passions, her fears. It's a way of saying, "You are still a mystery I want to understand." For a woman, that makes love feel alive because it shows that he's still looking at her with fresh eyes, still asking questions, still fascinated by the person she is becoming. Every woman wants to feel chosen not out of obligation, convenience, or habit, but out of genuine desire. To be chosen means she feels that you see her not as an option, but as a deliberate choice made with intention and clarity. It's not about being picked once, it's about being chosen continuously, in small, quiet ways that affirm her place in your heart. When a woman feels truly chosen, she relaxes into love. She doesn't need to compete, question, or perform for affection, because your consistency tells her she already holds her place. What she desires is the assurance that your presence is not an accident of circumstance, but a conscious commitment to stay connected, even when love gets tested by time or distance. Being chosen is not about grand declarations. It's about the moments that say, I see you, I still want you, and I choose you again. It's in the way you prioritize time for her despite a busy life, in the way you make her feel valued even in silence. Women are deeply intuitive. They can sense when a man's attention drifts, when his affection becomes autopilot, when his interest fades into routine. What she longs for is not constant validation but conscious effort, the kind that comes from a man who understands that love doesn't survive on memory alone, it survives on renewal. When you choose her, you remind her that she's not being tolerated, she's being desired. A woman wants to feel that she is not loved because she's needed, but because she's wanted. Need says, I can't live without you. Desire says, I can live without you, but I don't want to. That difference creates a profound sense of freedom in love. When she knows she's wanted, she feels safe enough to express her full self, her confidence, her vulnerability, her individuality. She no longer hides parts of who she is to maintain the relationship, because she feels accepted in her entirety. Choosing her also means seeing her growth and choosing her even as she changes. People evolve, and love that lasts is the one that keeps adapting. A woman wants to feel that as she becomes more herself, she's not drifting away from your affection but deepening within it. The quiet reassurance of being chosen again and again is what makes love feel alive. It's not about chasing perfection or constant excitement, it's about showing up with presence, intention, and devotion, the kind of choice that doesn't fade when the newness wears off, but strengthens as the bond deepens.